What are we looking for? Dogs.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Bird, and we back on Bird's Eye View with it. Like always, appreciate the love and support. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. Stop what you're doing. Smash the like button, smash subscribe button. Hop in the comment section, comment whatever you want. Of course, I'm dropping daily bangers day by day. You know, we got news of the day coming out of Colorado, and we're going to jump right into it, dog. So, of course, we back with another recap with this Colorado football program. As always, shout out Well Off Media, Reach the People Media, the pregame show for providing us phenomenal footage each and every day. As we all know, we had two prospects on campus this past weekend, two recruits that have offers all over the nation. We're visiting this Boulder, Colorado football program. Of course, I'm gonna give you guys an update on that. Before we hop into that, of course, major prayers out to Coach Prime. As we all know, he's battling a illness right now. But as we all know, God is able, and through prayer, anything is possible, right? So there's no adversity that you can't overcome, so without through prayer and through God. So, everything's going to be okay, right? We're going to speak it into existence, and I can't wait to see Coach Prime back in Boulder doing what he loves to do. Obviously, I do want to give a huge shout out to my little brother, Willie Drew, and the DC Defenders. They defeated the San Antonio Battlehawks last week in the XFL Conference Championship. That means they move on to the UFL Championship against the Michigan Panthers. Should be a huge matchup. I believe it's going to be on ABC. 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you guys tune in to that. Now let's jump into this recruiting news. Obviously, we all know Jordan Clay, right? The 6'3", 200-pound, 4-star wide receiver out of San Antonio, Texas, right? A top 10 wide receiver in the country, top 100 national player, top 15 overall player in the state of Texas. Of course, we've mentioned him multiple times on this channel, right? Size immediately stands out on tape, right? The ability to be physical, the ability to be able to make contested catches consistently, very solid big body wide receiver, run after the catch type of guy, solid route runner, dual sport athlete, right? We mentioned track and basketball as well. Of course, he was a, Army All-American this past season, right? Has offers all throughout the nation. Of course, this young man here visited Boulder, and he said the trip was great. He said he really enjoyed himself. He was able to spend time with players and coaches as well. He said he will say that Colorado, we made a huge jump to the top of his recruitment. He said he really enjoyed interacting with the players and getting to know them. He said there was no ice to be broken with them. It was all natural. Of course, we're in his top 10, right, which was loaded. So it looks like we made the type of impression we needed to make on this young man here. Again, we put wide receivers in the league, right, at this point. So this is a wide receiver friendly offense. This is the type of offense you want to be in. If you play wide receiver, this is the type of environment that you want to be in, right? They take your game to the next level. It's been proven at this point. So we're going to keep track of this young man's recruitment here. Of course, we're also in the running for another star wide receiver. When you look at Cedarian Morgan, right, the 5-star, who will be committing in less than a month, right? So he's committing July 2nd, and I feel really good where we are there. Let's keep it rolling, man. We got Gula, right? The 3-star interior offensive lineman, 6'5", 285, out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, in that 2026 class. Of course, we mentioned this young man as well, man. A really good block finishing interior offensive lineman that can play guard or center at the next level. Of course, we saw numerous, right, pancakes on tape. A young man whose stock is continuing to rise. I mean, it's really taken off without question, right? A lot of schools have jumped in on the recruitment of this young man here. Of course, he's been dominating the summer circuit when it comes to these camps, and that's what's really, pushing his name out there. And his recruitment process has taken off. Obviously, this young man was able to visit this Colorado football program this past weekend as well, and he also had a phenomenal time during his visit, right? He said his main takeaways from the visit was Colorado is a legit championship contender with coaches that have had real NFL experience. He said it was a blessing to be able to first get off and get up there, but also be able to talk ball with so many coaches that have been in his shoes. He also mentioned, he said there were plenty of things that surprised him about Boulder. First thing was definitely the mountains. If you've been there, the mountains, they do blow you away, dog. He said, I've never seen anything like that before. He said when he got there, it was definitely surreal to see them in person. He was also surprised by how bought into every single piece there of the puzzle is. He said from the trainers to the coaches to even the people on campus, everyone believes that they can bring a championship back to Boulder. Of course, he also mentioned, right, he said during his trip, he was able to have the opportunity to hang out with Buff linebacker Gage Goldberg, of course, the son of former football player and pro wrestler Bill Goldberg. He said he had an amazing time with him, getting to learn about the school and the type of kids there are on the team. He said the main impression of the staff is they want to win, and that's all they worry about. He said it's a program that maybe hasn't been able to be at that championship stage yet, but are doing everything they can to get to where they need to be. He said the staff is loaded, from the offensive line room to having one of the best offensive coordinators in football to an absolutely loaded defensive staff. So it looks like he had a lot of great things to say about this Colorado football program, right? Again, Indiana, Maryland, Texas A&M, UCF are among 15 programs that have stepped in to offer Gula as well. Like I said, his stock is definitely rising. And again, he did post, he made a post on Instagram and he said, the next Cash Cleveland, right, with some question marks. So it does look like he's really embracing the possibility of coming in to this Colorado football program, right? And it seems to me like he wants to be the next true freshman All-American interior offensive lineman, somewhat similar to what Cash Cleveland was able to do his first year as well, too. So it's going to be fun to watch the development of this young man's recruitment here. Again, it is taking off, but we did what we needed to do to make a lasting impression, and that's all that matters here. Hey, we have a young man here that will be visiting this weekend here. His name is Damonte Timothy, right? He is a safety, 3-star safety, 6'1", a $195 out of Sefner, Florida. He's in that 2026 class. He's a top 80 safety in the country, a top 100 overall player coming out the state of Florida. He mentioned, right, he said that he's definitely excited to get out there and see everything in person about his upcoming trip. He said Colorado has been showing love consistently, and just the energy around the program, especially with Coach Prime leading it, is something very different. He said he's looking forward to seeing how we operate and what the vibe is like with the players and coaches. He said Colorado, we've been real with him. He said we see his versatility and believe that he can be a big part of what we're building here in Colorado. He said they talk a lot about development, playing early and making an impact, not just on the field, but off it too. It's not just hype. They're speaking to his goals. Again, this young man here, 3-star safety, does have a lot of interest though, right? I mean, Georgia Tech, Indiana, Iowa State, Kansas State, Michigan State, Missouri, Ole Miss, Pittsburgh, UCF, and Wisconsin, among other Power 4 programs that want the services of this young man. He was committed to Missouri. He was committed to them back in April for a little bit more than a month, and then he ended up decommitting in May. This young man here, he said, development and a school that's a second home to him is the main important factors when it comes to picking a school. I like what I see on tape, man. I mean, plays with good instincts, good physicality. You can tell he's a very smart football player. He was jumping routes left and right on tape. Had like 30 tackles, 3 interceptions. You see multiple house calls on tape, 2 sacks, a fumble recovery, right? He helped that Armwood High School team win 12 games this past season. He will be visiting this weekend. So I'll keep you guys updated on everything that's going on within that visit once we get some more sound bites from that young man. But, as we all know, our guys enjoy themselves when they come to Colorado and visit. So it's going to be fun to continue to watch and track the development of his recruitment as well. So I'll keep you guys updated, right? The recruiting trail is extremely hot right now. Of course, we have more official visits coming up throughout the weeks, and obviously we're going to have some commitments drop here soon as well too. So again, just remain patient. You have to remain patient throughout this process, especially when you're recruiting blue chip type of guys that have offers all over the country, have official visits all over the country. Those guys are going to take their visits. They're going to enjoy themselves as they should. They deserve and they have earned this wine and dine type treatment that they get at these visits. They have earned that. So you got to expect them to take those. Not mad at them at all for that. Just looking forward to seeing us reel in some of these guys here, man. But not going to keep it long, though. Just want to continue to bring you guys this phenomenal updates. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. You know what time it is, dog. Bird's Eye View, man.